welcome to my YouTube channel once again. Today we're going to be talking about the scariest moment in my life. So let's get to it. Okay, so the scariest moment in my life was one of the times that I smoked weed. Mind you, it was not the first time. It was not the first time I smoked, but it was the first time I smoked a lot. You know what I mean? And I get kind of nervous to tell y'all this story because it's so embarrassing, bro. Like, it's embarrassing. Okay, so here goes the story. There was this one day that my mom, she left to the doctor. She was feeling sick, so she went to the hospital, and I stayed with one of my aunt and uncle in the house. So like one day before or two, one of my friends had gave me a full blunt, like a whole blunt, and I was over here feeling depressed, sad and shit. And I went to my room and I started smoking it. I started smoking the blunt all by myself. And me, you know, I was trying to show off on Snapchat and shit. So I grabbed my phone and I started recording myself. And then all of a sudden I got like a blackout. It's like I kind of saw black. And then I was like kind of feeling dizzy. And then I started coughing and coughing and coughing. I went to the refrigerator and I grabbed a bottle of water and I said, maybe if I drink water, I'll feel better. So I started drinking water and nothing. And I got scared, bro, because I had smoked before, but I never smoked so much by myself. So it was weird. So I went outside because my aunt was outside. And then I was like, what am I going to tell them? And I sat there.
And my aunt and my uncle was looking at me because obviously when somebody's high, you could tell. Like, you tell when they're high or not because they look weird. Like, they look like they're in space or something.
So I went outside and I sat right next to them. And they were talking. And I started feeling weird. Like, I started feeling like I was in another dimension. Like, I was out of this world, bro. But I was scared because I never felt like that before. So I sat there and I was like, what if I'm gonna die? I don't want to die. And I started, some of y'all Hispanic people are gonna know what I mean, because I watched La Rosa de Guadalupe before, and I seen how teenagers drug themselves or stuff like that, and then they die, or they end up, they can't walk, or they can't talk, or whatever. Like, bad stuff happened to them. So all that shit was running in my mind in that moment. Like, I could not hold myself from telling them. So I was like, I told my aunt and I told her, I'm sorry. I don't want to die. Please forgive me. I started making a big show. Mind you, it was at nighttime. So I'm over here telling my aunt I didn't want to die. And she was like, Diana, cálmate. This and that. And I was like, I feel sick. Call my mom. Tell her I love her. This and that. And they were like, what you did? And then, bro, my uncle was like, I don't understand you. What are you saying? Maybe because I was talking too fast. But in that moment, I felt like everything was going. Oh, bro, like I felt that I was going in slow motion. Like I would swallow my spit. And I would feel like I would choke on it. Bless you. I would feel like I would choke on it. When I breathe, I felt like I was not breathing. I felt like I was out of breath. So you know what I did? Since my uncle said he couldn't understand me, I threw myself in the floor. And I was like, I can't breathe. I smoked. I was doing signs, bro. I don't know what I was doing, but he said I was doing signs with my hand, that I was speaking some other freaking language. Y'all know not to smoke ever with me. Even though I don't smoke anymore. But like, that was the worst time. So, I'm over here. I threw myself in the floor. He had to carry me inside. Once I got inside, bro, this is so funny. I got inside and I started talking to my aunt, telling her, oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me for everything I've done. I don't want to die. Call my grandpa and tell him I'm sorry for everything. I went to the other room and I was like, Uncle, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I will never do this again. I was over here thinking I was dying. I was like, God, please forgive me for everything I've done. I'm never going to do this again. If you make this feeling go away from me, I will never smoke in my life again. Bro, I was out. So I'm over here. I called one of my uncles and I was like, you have kids. You have kids. If you don't want to die, don't smoke anymore. Do you love your kids? And he was like, yeah, I love my kids. I was like, please forgive me. I'm never doing this again, bro. I'm never doing this. I was crying. I was out, bro. It was the worst feeling of my life. I literally felt like I was dying. It's like, obviously y'all not gonna know because y'all never died before, duh. So I was like over here laying in the couch because I went to the couch and I laid down. And I was over here feeling like my spirit was detaching from my body. I was over here feeling like my spirit was detaching from my body. Literally. It was bad. So I went and sat with my aunt again and I was like, please call my mom. Please tell her I'm sorry, that I love her. Because like, I barely talk to my mom and sometimes I'd be really rude to her. So I was like over here thinking God doesn't like that stuff. And I'm going to go to hell if I don't tell everybody I'm sorry for everything I've done. So I was over here telling her to call everybody in my family to tell them I'm sorry because I was going to die. They were both laughing, bro, and I was dead crying because I was so scared. So I went and sat in the couch, and then when I got up, I started feeling like a lot of heat inside of me. A heat stroke, that's what it's called. Heat stroke. So I went and started drinking water. And I still felt hot. And then I got, I don't know if it's called cotton mouth or something like that. My mouth got really dry and I was drinking water and drinking water and drinking water. It didn't go away. Then I started getting a headache. And then again, it would like come in and then go, that I would feel like in another dimension. Like I would feel everything so slow, like in slow motion. So I grabbed the freaking bottle of water that was freezing cold and threw it on my head. And I had just flat ironed my hair, bro. I threw it in my head. And my aunt and my uncle was dead laughing at me. And they were like, what are you doing? I'm like, I can't breathe. Please help me. I'm going to die. Bro, when I tell you, this was the funniest and scariest moment of my life. Now I say it's the funniest. But in that moment, it was like... Why are you always doing... Look at me. Look over there. Over there. Over there. Why are you always doing this to me? You always farting in my videos. You don't care? Okay. So I poured that bottle of water in my head. And my aunt was laughing at me. She was like, what are we going to tell Priscilla? What are we going to tell her if this girl over here high as heck? What are we going to tell her? She's going to think that we gave her the blunt. Mind you, they didn't know where I got the blunt for. Where I got the blunt from. They didn't know where I got the blunt from. So they were over here scared that my mom was going to like say something because I was like, they were in charge of me in that moment because she wasn't there. She was at the hospital. So I'm over here laying in the couch and then the TV was on. I don't know if y'all seen Caso Cerrado before. So I was watching that. While I was laying down, I was still feeling bad. I was feeling terrible. I'm over here. I was hallucinating. I don't know if that's how you say it. Comment if that's how you say it. I was hallucinating. It was like a court, and then there was a woman, but supposedly that was the demon. And then there was a man, and supposedly that was God. And they were over here arguing if I was going to go to hell or if I was going to go to heaven because of all the stuff I did. Because of all the stuff I did. Because of all the stuff I did. But they couldn't decide because supposedly I did good stuff and did a lot of bad stuff in my life. So I was here scared, and then every time I would hear them talk in the TV, I would cry. I would be like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do no more bad stuff. Bro, if y'all was there, this was like a freaking movie. It was terrible. So I'm over here watching that program, crying, and then all of a sudden I thought it had went away. I was like, thank you, God. Please forgive me. I'm never doing this again. Please forgive me. I don't want to die. And then it would come again, bro. That feeling would come back. I would see, like, every time I would close my eyes, it's like I would see a little light at the end of the road, like really far away from me. I was like, am I going to hell? I don't want to go to hell. I do not want to go to hell. So I would start crying. I would get on my knees. I would get on my knees and start crying and say, I'm sorry, God. Please make this feeling go away. Mind you, it's like I am not a person to smoke. Like the first times I would be like, oh, this is cool and everything, because I never smoked as much as I smoked that day. It was the worst time of my life. So I went to my room and I laid down in my bed, and like the lights were off. And I laid down. And when I laid down, it's like you see when somebody is when somebody's dead and they're gonna bury them, you know, when they're putting them in the hole. I would feel like they were putting me in the hole. So I got my butt up from the bed and I turned on the light, because I was like, if I turn off a light, then when I'm dead or when I'm going to hell or heaven, I'm not gonna find the light. I was like, I gotta leave the light on, because if I die, I gotta find the light. Bro, I would think the most craziest stuff that day, bro. I left the light on and I laid down again. No, nothing. I still felt like that. So what I did was
I got in the bathtub with freezing cold water. My aunt, she went to give me a shower.
I got in the shower with freezing cold water. Like cold. And I would feel like I was burning still. She was laughing at me. I was like, no te rías. I feel like I'm gonna die. Please help me. And she was like, oh, it's gonna go away. She would put water on me. Then I got out and I got in my bed. And I called my mom. I was like, Mom, where are you? She's like, at the hospital, Diana. What you want? And I'm like, I love you. I never say I love you to my mom. She was like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. Please come home fast. I can't sleep. But I wouldn't tell her. I couldn't dare to tell her, because I was like, my mom's going to make fun of me or something, or she's going to get scared. I thought everything. So what I did is I went to my mom's room. Mind you, like 30 minutes passed in that whole time. And I'm over, no, maybe like an hour. And I'm over here thinking it was hours and hours that were passing. It was the worst experience in my life. And you know why all this happened to me? Because that blunt that one of my friends gave me was synthetic weed. I don't know about weed, but what people told me before is that synthetic weed is worse, because it makes you hallucinate. I don't know if that's how you say it. I keep feeling like I'm not saying it right, but y'all know what I mean. So when my mom got home, I'm over here. I never slept with my mom. Like, I slept with my mom at the beginning when I started living with her, but then once I had my own room, I would sleep by myself, you know. But then that day, I'm over here, Mom, can I sleep with you? She was like, no, what you want me to sleep with? What you want to sleep with me for? And I'm like, I can't sleep. So I'm over here laying down with her. Then out of nothing, I say, Mom, I love you. She's like, I love you too. I'm guessing in that moment, she was like, what
the heck is wrong with this girl? Because she never said that I'm shy. That's why I never say it. I don't say it to my mom, to no one. I be shy. So that day,
was terrible. When I woke up the next day, oh, wait. And I was feeling so embarrassed that day that I told my aunt, no, this is not the first time. She's like, this is the first time you smoke, right? And I'm like, no, I've smoked before. I was so freaking shy. Like, I was so embarrassed that I was over here because one of my uncles had let me try it once. And then I was like, no, my uncle gave me once. This is not my first time smoking, I promise. I swear this is not my first time. I was just freaking embarrassed. So the next day I had to go to school. So I woke up late as heck to go to school. It was really late when I woke up. And then I was like, who's gonna take me to school? And I went over to my uncle. And I was like, Uncle, can you take me to school, please? And he was like, I am never trusting you again. I cannot believe you put me out like that. I told you not to ever tell anyone. This and that. Bro. Then the next day when I went to school, I was in school and I
told Shanae. I remember I told Shanae. I was like, bro.
I was over here in the classroom out. I would be like this. She said I looked weird as heck. Shanae, if you're watching this video, comment, bro. Comment, bro. I was over here in the classroom, and tell me how that day that I went to school, I felt like I didn't remember parts of the day. It's like I would go in and out. Who in the world smokes weed and has an effect for over a day? The whole day I felt so weird, bro. I was praying that feeling didn't come back to me. I was so happy. I never in my life been so happy to wake up. I thought I was gonna die. So I really thought I was gonna die. That day I was over here telling Shanae, I feel like I'm gonna die, Shanae. I told her the whole story, bro. This girl was dead laughing in the classroom. And Ms. McGee was like, Diana, please be quiet. I could not stay quiet, bro. I could not believe what had happened to me. I was like over here thinking I actually died. I just woke up again. I felt special. I really did. It was the worst moment of my life. It was the scariest moment in my life. Tell them, bro. Tell them. Say the point of this video is to tell you guys, don't ever smoke. Since that day, I've never smoked in my life again. I will not smoke in my life again. I will not do any type of drugs. Don't do drugs. Don't smoke. Don't do anything that you're not supposed to do. Because y'all might die like me. Well, I didn't die, right? Because I'm here. But yeah. So, guys. Okay, guys. So, that's it for today's video. I want to tell y'all. Please subscribe to my channel. Like this video and comment what y'all thought about this story. So, yeah. Comment what y'all want my next video to be about. Comenten aquí abajo de qué es lo que quieren que se trate mi próximo video. Mi próximo video será en español. And my next video is going to be in Spanish. Maybe y'all won't like it. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all won't watch it because it's going to be in Spanish. But please let me know what y'all want me to talk about. What y'all want my video to be about. And thank you guys for watching. Bye. Bye.